January 7th of 2023 found me in Columbus for the day. First stop was the old C&O roundhouse at the north end of CSX's Parsons yard. I'm amazed this thing is still standing. It was wrong rumored to believe that this thing was getting torn down, and there have been talks to have been tearing it down, but so far it's still up. The south end of the yard was a little bit sleepy too. Here a CSX local sits here waiting to do its next assignment. The lead engine is an ex-Baltimore, Ohio 7602 SD40, while the second one, a GP38, is ex-Conrail 3303. Nice to see a former Conrail lying in a C&O yard. A prize this morning was 911. It had come off of M635 a couple hours ago, and they were about to get ready to put the train away. But nothing else was happening, so I moved on. Next, we'll take a look at another Railfanning location, CW Tower, although it's not accessed by vehicles, at least legally. In the 1950s, this stretch of double track connected N&W's Grogan Yard and PRR's Penor Yard while crossing the Cleveland, Akron, and Columbus Railroad right there at that diamond. That area off to the right where the ties are used to be the location of PRR's former Penor Yard, now torn up long ago. To the south is CW Tower, the actual tower, boarded up and abandoned. It used to control the entrance into multiple different yards, as well as the connection right here in the Penor and Grogan yards, 5th Avenue, Yard B, and multiple PRR and N&W tracks heading into Columbus Union Station. The lines here are long been abandoned, and I guess they can be used as a turning place for the OC or just for storage. One of the interesting things I found here was this little dwarf signal that governs very little movement. You have to be lucky to get some out here on these days. A little bit farther past CW is what I believe remnants of the signal interlocking tower, or at least the signal cantilever bridge. Now we move up the line. This is milepost 4 on the NS Sandusky Line, known as Weber. This is where 3 railroads all pass. Norfolk Southern Sandusky Line. The connection heading off to the right is the NS Dayton District, well, the beginning of it. And over there is CSX's Burt Line. It's the old former Big 4 route between Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati, which actually used to run on the Dayton District down towards Cincy. A little bit of funny graffiti here on the signal switch stand that I happened to find, as well as some on the building back there as well. It wasn't too long before the actual first train of the day came. We had a high green signal for a southbound NS 18M, daily manifest traffic out of Elkhart, Indiana for Crow, Virginia, with a crew swap around Watkins. 18M has been fairly short recently as to the addition of about 4 other trains over here on the Sandusky Line. Today he was led by a big General Electric ES44AC. About 30 minutes after 18M was a red over green. This signal indication is going to take the next southbound off the Sandusky and onto the Dayton District. The southbound is NS 179, daily Bellevue, Ohio to Irondale, Alabama manifest traffic, with some nice power too, including a UP AC44CW leading the way as he comes off the Sandusky and starts his journey on the Dayton District. NS steel coil cars, just probably a few days old, definitely caught my attention. 179 has work stops down in Sharonville, Ohio, Middletown, Ohio, sometimes some in Guest Street in Cincinnati, Danville, Kentucky, and Delphine Yard in Georgetown, Kentucky, as well as Chattanooga, Tennessee. He had some nice DPUs today with a UP ET44AC and a KCS-M, a very rare sight indeed in this part of Ohio. I heard there was more traffic behind 179, so I jumped down to a place called Ashville, Ohio, milepost 684 on the Columbus District. We're in time to see 28N flying southbound, timetable eastbound, with a rare SD70 ACU leader. This is hot shot container and trailer traffic out of Calumet Yard to Satellite Yard, Chicago, Illinois to Charlotte, North Carolina. The KCS Tier 4 was a bonus on today. 28N only has crew changes in a few different places, and they only take about 5 to 10 minutes. Any time less would get NS in trouble and have a stern talking to from the people that own the trailers, such as UPS and FedEx. The two guys down there on the right are Tyler Dixon and Rex Woods. They would join me here in Asheville for the rest of the afternoon. Calling signals behind 28N and following him south was 778. As needed coal loads out of Shire Oaks, Pennsylvania to Hyco, North Carolina. And a monster today, too, with a special treat up front. The NS 81014 Original Heritage Unit leading the charge south. Some rail fans and railroaders called this coal train the King Coal Train because of its massive size, and today he didn't disappoint. This train is all nothing but Progress Energy coal hoppers, PGNX on the reporting marks. Not sure what the N and the X are short for. This train had at least about 35,000 tons of coal loads. Not sure how many cars that is, but I can tell you that's well over 200. This is a Railfan draw because it usually has locomotives mid-train and on the rear as well as the head end. And today was the case. ES44 ACs sandwiching an AC44 C6M about halfway into the train. You usually see DPUs like this up around Pennsylvania, but to see it over here in Ohio is a very special treat. Bringing up the rear of 778 was an AC44C6M and an SD70 ACE. I will say this is probably the longest train I've seen here in the Columbus area. Not long after 778 cleared, an extra bare table train, NS299, came flying north. These are empty intermodal wells going to either somewhere for storage or somewhere where they need them. I never did get a length or axle count on this guy, but he was pretty sizable for an empty bare table train. I'd assume this guy was probably going to go terminate in Rickenbacker Yard, or these cars could be going up to Sandusky. The last train of the day really took the cake. 19W northbound manifest from Winston-Salem, North Carolina to Bellevue, Ohio, with a BNSF ET44C4, a Union Pacific AC44, and a BNSF-944CW in war bonnet paint. These units have actually been dubbed fake bonnets because they're not in original ATSF lettering. Nice cut of manifest and a huge chunk of auto racks on this train made it very sizable. The 746 would get dropped in Watkins, Ohio, and would eventually go out west on 171 the next day. Don't forget to hit that like button down below and make sure you guys subscribe. Hit the bell when I also post new videos, and I'll see you guys out here soon. This is Jan's Locomotive Works 8098 signing off at milepost 684 on the Columbus District.